Welcome back. What was the deciding factor for you to come back for another season here?
There really was no decision for me to make. I mean, this is obviously where I wanted to be to build upon what we've already done last season. That is continue to grow the culture, the winning culture, championship culture here, and then to continue to mold these young players into champions. And I think we've taken great strides last season. On and off the court. Obviously, we're disappointed in how we finished up in the playoffs. Everyone put in the work this summer. We had a great mini camp in Santa Barbara where guys got to spend time with each other and put in some work. And now we're here at training camp. So I'm happy. I mean, it was a short summer, went by fast, but I'm excited to be here now because we know we have a good team. And we're in a beautiful facility. I mean, it's a great day.
Jason, you mentioned a mini camp in Santa Barbara. Where did that come from? Who organized it? And how many of the guys were there?
Well, this was a team decision that we wanted to do to get together. The teams I've been on in the past have done similar things. So, the veteran group of guys were able to do it. I think we had everybody but two guys were able to attend. So, a good bulk of us were there. It was all about, continuing to build on our chemistry. And then putting in a little bit of work, making sure guys were in some decent type of shape early September, and now, we're here.
Tony, just how excited are you to be back, and how excited were you to sign that contract at 12:01?
I'm very excited to be back. Just being with this team, the amount of talent and growth we can have in this team is through the roof, and it was a pretty easy decision to come back the way how we fought in the playoffs. The fight was always there, being more mature and playing with these guys made me happy here, so it's really easy to come back.
Jason, you've played with a lot of talented players over the years. How good can Giannis be? What do you see out of him?
Oh, Giannis will be great. He will be one of the top, whatever number you want to put on it, in NBA history. And that's because he's a worker. He's a student of the game. He puts the necessary time into his craft, and then he goes out and implements what he's worked on in game situations. He's a team guy. When your leader is all about team, then you're going to have success. And his individual accolades will be predicated on how his team does. He'll lead us in every category like he did last year, but the end of the day is how far will this team go, and that's how he'll be judged.
Last year, you were fresh to us, and you made a number of predictions. And going back through my notes, they're right. I think you said Giannis all-defense, Giannis all-NBA. So do you got any predictions for us this season for some of your teammates? Or for the team?
For the team? Ew, see, you put me on the spot now. I don't want to. Expectations are already high. Obviously, what we've put on ourselves. Big goal for us, Eastern Conference Finals, top 5 in defense, top 5 in assists. We know those key stats means we're going to win a lot of basketball games or have an opportunity to win. And that's all you can ask for at the end of the day. I think enjoying the process. You got to enjoy training camp. That's where it starts at. And then you just keep growing and building from there. But we love our group. Like Tony said, we have tons of talent. How fast we can come together and not make the same mistakes we made last year will be the telltale sign of how quick we grow together and the success we'll have this season.
I don't think I heard a prediction there.
No predictions. But no. I just predict that we're going to have a great season, man. I mean, this is a great time to be a part of a great organization that is building and going upwards towards the future.
For both of you, you both come to the team last year, and both of you find spots where you feel comfortable. Tony, I know you had struggled with that a little bit in Chicago, and you felt like this was a place where you could feel comfortable. How big can that be for, obviously, Jet, you at the end of your career, and Tony near the start of your career, to find a spot where you are comfortable?
Well, a guy like Jet, who's been in a position before, he got a ring himself, so he got a lot of experience, and I'm learning from him of where to be at all times and how hard to work and everything. So Jet helps a lot in this team.
Dave Coleman, Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. No heavy lifting here. You guys are back to work now, but what was the most interesting or enjoyable or rewarding thing you managed to do over the summer?
I'll let you go first. Most rewarding thing.
Rewarding thing.
Man, I thought I had the easy one.
I'll speak for Tony. Signing a new deal, being rewarded for my services because I've always been underappreciated, and finding a home. Milwaukee is home for me now, and I'm speaking for Tony. For me, at this age, being able to still come out and contribute on and off the court in the locker room is big. There was no question and no doubt in my mind where I'd be, so just the preparation that it took to get to this point, still being in great condition, mind, body, and soul, I think that's what was most fun for me. Still being able to go out and prepare with the same rigorous, competitive nature in me is what was fun for me this summer. Usually when you get to this age, you're like, here we go again. But for me, it was not that. Knowing that I was coming back to a team that has a realistic opportunity to compete for a championship is what drove me to come back at 40 years old.
Jason, you referenced the practice facility. You've been coming through Milwaukee for years now. What can a new place like this do for a team?
I think this just gives you new life. I mean, you walk in this building every day. This is work. This is home. And it feels that way when you step in this building. It's nothing like a new home, man. I don't know if any of you have purchased one in your lifetime, but you open the door, everything smells fresh. The kitchen is new. You know, the floors are clean. It's shiny. So it just makes it that much easier for you to come to work and appreciate the little things. Especially when you come here and your boss is like, I said, is a Hall of Famer like Jason Kidd. I mean, it's easy for me because I know how hard he worked and I know his dream and his vision. And putting something like this together, it obviously means this organization, this franchise is going to be a place where more and more free agents are going to want to come and call Milwaukee home.
This one's for Tony. I asked Coach Kidd this, I'll ask you as well. With you and Chris being very kind of similar players as far as your defensive and your shooting, how are you working with him to kind of coexist on the floor as similar wings, and how are you trying to learn from each other?
Just being able to work together, communicating off the course, try to build chemistry, and knowing what both of our strengths are to rely on for this team to help this team win. So we're just trying to feed off each other.
Jason, I know in the past you've mentioned maybe coaching. I know you've interviewed for coaching jobs in the last couple of years as well. How is this experience, this 19th NBA season, how does that help you develop and grow as you look forward, as you're trying to figure out what's next for you?
Well, I'll continue to do some of the things I did last year. I'll expand that role. Last year I was in on a lot of the coaches' meetings. I'll continue to do that. I've already talked to our new GM. I'll be coattailing him around. I mean, management is definitely in my future. So, I just want to continue to build. Broadcasting may be another opportunity for me there. But right now, man, I just want to continue to play as long as I can. As long as I feel like this and can wake up every day, I don't have any ailments, my body's in a good place, my mind is sharp. I'm going to play this game as long as I can because, again, it's my dream. When I dreamed about it in 6th grade and said, hey, I want to be an NBA player one day, who puts the age limit on that? Nobody. As long as you're still able to do it as long as you can. So, again, yes, I'll still be preparing for my future, but playing is what I want to do most because that's what makes me the most happy.
Jason, kind of along those lines, obviously the NBA schedule has lengthened a little bit, and there's more time between games. How much does that help someone, like you, who's a veteran, who's been through the wars, and now you have extra time to prepare for each game?
Well, I think that's a little bit of a misnomer for a lot of people because it's better for me to play more games and less practice because the longer I'm active, I stay sharper. There's not a lot of downtime. But when I have downtime, then I start to feel those aches and those pains. But if I can just keep playing and don't worry about it, then I'm in good shape. So I kind of like the 4 games and 5 nights because that's what I came in on. My body's used to that. So now it's going to be a little bit of adjustment for me because it is kind of like every other day. And so I'll have those days off that I ordinarily, my body wasn't used to having. So it'll be an adjustment. But me, I'm a gamer. I like games, not practice as much. So we'll see how we adjust, but we should be all right. I'm in great condition. Tony, you got anything on that?
Yeah, man. Just I'm the type of guy who likes to keep going. You know, there's a lot of games going. You know, I keep my mind sharp, my body sharp, and you know, just try to just keep going.
Obviously, you guys play an aggressive defensive scheme. Tony, how well does that fit you? It seems like for you personally, you should be able to switch a couple different positions and really cause some havoc along with Chris and Giannis. So how well do you feel that fits you?
Well, I'm a defensive-minded type guy. I mean, I plead defense to the top. You know, I'm the type of guy who want to start on defensive end, try to get defensive stops, just trying to build this team because of the amount of length we have. You know, everybody's like really tall. And we use our length to just get some defensive stops that'll help us out a lot.
Jet, 19th NBA season for you. I think I counted earlier today, 18 guys. You'll be the 18th guy to do that. Really? When I say something like that, is that crazy to you to think that in the history of basketball you're among 17 other guys?
When you say it, it's crazy, but for me going through it, actually these seasons fly by so fast. You look up, you don't really even know it. I think I was in Minnesota a couple weeks ago and I seen Jamal Crawford, and he's 4 years younger than me, but he's played 18 seasons too, or this is his 18th season also. So it's like, wow, it's a long time. But when you're having fun, they say time flies when you're having fun. So, you know, I'm gonna keep enjoying it. Obviously, my goal is to play 20 years, and then I'll have to reevaluate where I'm at. But right now, I'm set on going past 20. 20 is the goal. Hopefully, I can do it right here, and I'm gonna stick to it.
You guys had a lot of continuity coming into this season with the players. What does that mean in the locker room and just on the practice court and on game time?
Tony, continuity?
Just keep each other accountable. We got to keep each other accountable for our team goals. Make sure we, you know, stick with it, continue to grow, and go from there.
I think it just allows us to build chemistry a lot faster. Obviously, every year is a different season, but when you bring back your core nucleus of guys, it's easier, like he said, to hold guys accountable, to know expectations, to know what your goals are, and then to be able to go out and realistically achieve them. So that's why I like this situation. I mean, it's pretty much the same team. It's not a lot of turnover. We don't have that adjustment period that we'll have to make. And the other thing for us, like you've seen last year, is health. Health is key. Last year we missed Chris Middleton for half the season, Jabari. This year now only Jabari's out. So that adjustment won't be as bad as it was last season. Question for you all. What are your expectations of this year's Bucks team? I'll start with you first.
50 wins.
50 wins. Very realistic. It's a good goal. Anybody over here? Right here in the front row, you were very quiet.
I think 50 wins and...
Are you just going to repeat what he said?
I'm going to go further than
okay,
him,
I got you.
And we're not looking at one playoff series and out. Okay. That's what I'll say.
All right.
It's not just a short trip to the playoffs.
All right, I like that. Young lady in the front row. Second row, I'm sorry.
Finals.
Finals, I love it. All right, we'll take one more question from the crowd, and then we're going to wrap it up. Right here. WDUX.
All right, Jason, do you have any hijinks with J.R. Smith again this year?
What team does he play for?
I think Cleveland still.
Oh, no comment.
Did you request Tony as your partner?
I did. Me and this guy have been rolling since day one, since he got here, man. We're going to continue to do so.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all.